Welcome to your sleep story. I'm so glad you're here tonight. However this day felt, however long it stretched, however much it asked of you, it is entirely behind you now. You made it through, and that is everything. So let's begin. Before I take you anywhere tonight, I want to count you down from 10 to 1. And as I count, I want you to allow yourself to sink just a little deeper into wherever you are right now. Feel the weight of your body. Feel what is beneath you. And with each number, just let go a little more. 10. Allow your eyes to close. Gently, completely. There is nothing you need to see tonight. 9. Feel your shoulders and let them drop as far as they want to go. 8. A slow breath in through the nose. 7. And all the way out. 6. Your hands. Feel them opening. Whatever you were holding today, you can set it down now. 5. Your jaw is soft. Your face is soft. 4. Your legs are warm, heavy. 3. You are drifting, not asleep yet, but moving that way. 2. The day is behind you, completely and entirely behind you. 1. And now, tonight's sleep story, the relaxation. Before we go anywhere, I want to stay here with you for a moment. Just here, just now, because this moment, this quiet, warm moment where you are lying still, deserves a little attention, a little gentleness. Take a breath in for me, from the very bottom of the belly. Good, and let it go. And as you breathe out, I want you to imagine that everything you were carrying today, every unfinished thought, every worry, every heavy thing is leaving with that breath, drifting away, dissolving. You don't have to solve anything tonight. You don't have to figure anything out. You don't have to be anything other than exactly what you are right now. A person who deserves rest. A person who deserves peace. Because you do. You really do. Whatever happened today, however hard it felt, you are here. You made it through. And that is enough. That is more than enough. You are safe, and you are here. Bring your awareness gently to your feet now. Just notice them and allow them to soften. The toes uncurling, the arches releasing. All the small held tension of a day of moving through the world, simply letting go. Let that softness travel upward, through the calves, through the knees, the thighs. All of it warm, all of it heavy, all of it resting now. Your lower back, your hips. Allow yourself to feel the surface beneath you taking your weight completely, fully. You don't have to hold yourself up anymore. You are held. The belly soft, the chest soft, the heart beating steadily as it always has, as it always will. Your shoulders dropping, your arms heavy and warm, your hands open and still, the neck long and loose, and your face, let the jaw go. Let the forehead smooth. Let the eyes be completely still behind their closed lids. There you are, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, completely soft, completely warm, completely at rest. You've done beautifully. Now, let me take you somewhere the air is warm and thick with the smell of black soap and eucalyptus steam. Somewhere the walls are covered in hand-painted tiles of deep blue and ivory and the soft gold of old brass lanterns. Somewhere in the heart of an ancient Moroccan city, down a quiet alley, through a wooden door studded with iron nails, a hammam has been open since before your grandmother's grandmother was born. Come with me. The Medina. Imagine a city in Morocco, Fez, or Marrakesh, or Meknes. It does not matter exactly which. What matters is this: a Medina, an old walled city at night, in the season when the days are warm, but the evenings cool, and the air holds that particular quality that the air of North Africa holds in the hours after sunset. Clear, dry, carrying the smell of the city. Jasmine and orange blossom from someone's courtyard garden. The wood smoke of a hammam's furnace coming from a kitchen window. The mineral smell of old stone that has been here for 1,000 years and more. Stone worn smooth by an unimaginable number of feet. The Medina at night is quieter than the Medina at day, but only quieter, not silent. The Medina is never silent. From somewhere in the tangle of alleys, a television, the sound of water in a fountain, a cat, the call from the minaret that drifts over the rooftops like something made of smoke. You are in an alley, narrow, the walls close on either side, whitewashed, the paint cool under your hand if you reach out to touch it. The alley goes left, then right, then opens just slightly into a small square. In the square, a fountain, the water running constantly. The sound of it, the most constant sound in the Medina. The fountains are always running. They have always been running. They were here when the city was new, and they will be here when no one living today can be remembered. The water running in the quiet, and there across the square, through an archway of carved plaster, the door. The door, old, very old, cedar wood, the color of dark honey, carved in the geometric patterns that appear everywhere in the architecture of this city. The interlocking stars and polygons and grids that have been cut into wood and plaster and tile here for 1,000 years. The cedar has dried and cracked slightly with time, the grain of it raised, the carvings shallower in some places than they once were. But the door is beautiful, more beautiful, perhaps, for the wearing. The iron handle, large, heavy, smooth where hands have touched it. You reach for it. The warmth finds you before you are even inside. It comes through the door, the warmth of the hammam, a different warmth from the warmth of the evening outside. The warmth of the evening is dry, clear. This warmth coming through the crack of the door is humid, soft, enveloping. You push the door open. The first breath, the smell reaches you before anything else. It always does in a hammam. Black soap, Savon Beldi, the traditional Moroccan black soap. Not black exactly dark olive green, the color of very old olive oil, which is what it is made from in essence. Olive oil and water and the ash of argan wood cooked together and ground smooth. The smell of it is extraordinary. It is the smell of old olive trees and wood ash and something fermented, something that has been worked on by time, something that belongs to these buildings. The Savon Beldy. You will know it forever after tonight. Beneath the soap, steam, pure water vapor carrying the minerals of the deep well that supplies this Hammam. The water that has been heated in the great furnace at the back of the building since before dawn. And beneath the steam, eucalyptus, the eucalyptus that is burned in the furnace room, whose smoke is drawn under the floors and through the walls, whose volatile oils evaporate into the steam rooms and fill the lungs of every person who enters with that clean, opening, medicinal clarity. Breathe in, your lungs open with it, the eucalyptus doing what it has always done, clearing the passages, opening the chest, making space. And beneath the eucalyptus, something older, the smell of the building itself, the tiles, the plaster, the cedar of the doors and the benches, the particular mineral smell of hot stone that has been hot for a very long time. The Hammam has been here for 400 years, and it smells of 400 years of this, of warmth, of water, of the careful, repeated, deeply human act of bathing. Your eyes adjust. You say, the entrance hall, the medresa, the changing room. The first room is not warm, not yet. It is the temperature of the evening outside, or close to it. This is intentional. The Hammam is a journey from cool to warm to hot and back to cool again. A journey for the body, a loosening. The room is beautiful. The floor tiled, the traditional Zellige tilework of Morocco. The small hand-cut ceramic tiles in deep blue and white, and a green the color of new leaves, laid in the interlocking geometric pattern that a craftsman has been cutting and laying in this region for 8 centuries. The walls plastered in tadelect, the traditional lime plaster of Morocco, polished with river stones until it is smooth as marble and slightly luminous, the color of old cream with the faintest warmth of rose in it. The ceiling, high and vaulted, plasterwork at the apex, the muqarnas, the honeycombed stalactite decoration that looks, from below, like something between a beehive and a cathedral, and a mathematical proof. Brass lanterns hanging from the vault, their light warm and honeyed, and catching the metalwork of the lanterns themselves, the pierced brass through which the light escapes in small geometric points, throwing patterns on the tadelect walls that shift slightly when the air moves. The patterns of light, moving slowly, like breathing. Benches along the walls, covered in old fabric, the cotton striped in red and white in the traditional fouta pattern. On the benches, the folded towels, the kessamit, coarse enough to lift the dead skin, the keys, the wooden sandals for the hot floor, everything in its place, everything as it has always been. Farouk, he is 71 years old. His name is Farouk. He has been the keeper of this Hammam, the Muqaddam, for 35 years. Before him, his uncle. Before the uncle's father. The Hammam has been in the hands of the same family, with brief interruptions, for 120 years. Farouk is not a large man. He is compact, deliberate, the kind of man who moves through a space as if he knows every inch of it, because he does. He has been here since he was a young man of 36. Before that, he worked in the Hammam of his uncle, learning. He knows the temperature of each room by the feel of the air on his forearms. He knows the sound the furnace makes when it is running correctly, and the slightly different sound it makes when it is not. He knows which tiles need regrouting. He knows which bench needs a new leg. He knows which patron prefers their water mixed exactly so, not too hot, not too cool. He knows everything about this building. He will know it until he dies, and then his son will know it. His son is already learning. He comes on the weekends. He is 28, and he is learning to read the temperature by the feel on the forearm, the way his father taught him, the way the uncle taught his father, the knowledge passing, the way it is always passed, hand to hand, the warmth of one generation to the next. Farouk is in the furnace room when you arrive. He comes out. He nods, a small, warm nod. Welcome, the warm room, the first room of the baths, the Beit al-Awwal, the room of first warmth. You enter through a low arched doorway. You have to duck slightly, the arch worn smooth at its crown by the passing of 1,000 heads, and the warmth increases, not dramatically, gently, the way warmth should come on a body that has been outside in the cool of the evening. The room is lit by 2 brass lanterns and by a single aperture in the ceiling, a small circle of glass set into the dome, through which a shaft of the city's ambient nightlight falls in a diffuse and silver beam. The floor, warm beneath the wooden sandals. You take a step, another, the warmth coming up through the stone and through the wood, the furnace beneath through the floor, through the hypocaust system that is as old as the Roman baths, from which this practice ultimately, distantly descends, the furnace warming the floor, which warms the air, which warms you. From the ground up, the oldest way, the benches here are warm marble, which is something your body did not know it had been waiting for. Marble seems cold. Marble in the street, in a doorway, on a kitchen floor, cold. But marble above a hypocaust floor, in a room that has been warming since before dawn, warm, pleasantly, deeply, continuously warm. The marble holds the heat, the way the stone of the building holds it. You sit, you breathe, the eucalyptus in the steam, the smell of the black soap drifting from the next room. Your muscles, the muscles that have been carrying the day, beginning quietly to let go. the sound of the Hammam. Let me tell you about the sounds, because a Hammam has a particular soundscape, and it is one of the most peaceful soundscapes there is. Water, always water. The Hammam is built around water the way a church is built around its altar. Water is the point. Water is what everything here is for. And the sound of water, moving, running, poured, dripping, is constant. The tap running into the marble basin. The sound of water poured from a copper bucket. The drip from the cold tap into the hot. The soft rush of steam from somewhere deeper in the building. The water moving, always moving, and voices, soft. The Hammam encourages softness. The hard surfaces, the marble, the tile, the plaster, absorb the voice somehow, or rather they reflect it in a way that diffuses it, smooths it, takes the edges off. A voice in a Hammam sounds different from the same voice in a street. Warmer, closer, the sounds bouncing from the dome above you back down to the basin of the room below, in a way that makes the space feel intimate, even when it is large. The soft pouring of water, the low voices, the occasional sound of the casamit, the scrubbing glove against skin, and underneath all of it, the furnace, distant, constant, a low, rhythmic sound, the breath of the building, the heartbeat of the Hammam, the thing that makes everything else possible. The furnace burning, the floor warming, the steam rising. You hear it without thinking about it, the way you hear your own heartbeat when the room is quiet. The hot room, deeper, through another arch. The hot room, the Beit al-Wastani. Here the warmth becomes heat, not the scorching, aggressive heat of a sauna. The Hammam is softer than that. The humidity holds the heat in suspension, distributes it evenly, wraps it around the body rather than striking it. You feel it on your face first, the cheeks flushing, the forehead, then the arms. Then as your body accepts it, adjusts to it, the whole of you. The heat is kind. It is asking you to release. And the body, which has been waiting, perhaps, for exactly this kind of permission, begins to. The shoulders, the neck, the long muscles of the back, all of it softening, opening. In the hot room, there is a central raised platform. The slab of pale marble called the navel of the Hammam, the Harara, which sits directly above the furnace and is the hottest surface in the building. You sit near it, not on it yet, near it, letting the heat come to you, letting the steam open you, letting your body take the warmth it needs. The lantern in this room is a single one, small, hung low. It's light amber and intimate. The dome above, the circle of glass, the steam rising to it and condensing there and falling back very gently as the finest mist. You feel it on the back of your hand, the finest mist, like something trying to be gentle. The tiles, let me tell you about the tiles, because the tiles of this Hammam deserve your attention. The cellai, Zellige, the hand-cut ceramic tilework of Morocco, the craft that has been practiced here since the 10th century, each tile cut by hand, not by machine, by hand, by a craftsman called a Hammam, a master who sits with a small hammer and a chisel and cuts each piece of ceramic to the exact shape required by the pattern. The pattern is mathematical, an interlocking geometry of stars and polygons, each shape fitting perfectly into the next, the whole pattern having no beginning and no end, tiling infinitely in all directions. It is not random. It is not even, strictly speaking, decorative. It is a meditation on infinity, on the impossibility of reaching an edge, on the idea that the world, properly understood, has no corners. The tiles of this Hammam, blue, the blue of the tiles, is the blue that Morocco does better than anywhere. Not a single blue, but many blues, each tile slightly different in shade and temperature from its neighbors. The variation coming from the handmade nature of the glaze, the slight inconsistencies of temperature in the kiln. Blue-white, blue-gray, the deep cobalt that is almost black, the sky blue that is almost silver, all of them together making a field of blue that is alive in the amber lantern light. The tiles catching the light differently at different angles, flat in one place, glinting in another. The surface of the zellige never perfectly smooth, never perfectly matte, always alive, and the white plaster between them, and above the tilework, the tadelakt rising to the dome, the whole room a single continuous surface of color and light, and the mathematics of 1,000 years. You sit in the middle of it. You are inside it. A Hammam history. Let me tell you something about the history of this place. Because the Hammam is old. Not this building 400 years is old, but the practice is older. Much older. The Hammam as we know it in Morocco descended from the Roman thermae, the great public baths of the Roman Empire, the baths that were found in every Roman city from Scotland to Syria. The Romans understood the bath not simply as a place to get clean, but as a civic institution, a place of community, a place where the different classes of the city met and were briefly equal in the hot room. The Roman thermae, the hypocaust system, the underfloor heating, the hollow tiles through which the hot air passed, the cold room, the warm room, the hot room, the sequence. This sequence survived the fall of the Roman Empire in the Islamic hammams of North Africa and the Middle East. The Arabs took the form and made it their own, integrating it with Islamic traditions of ritual cleanliness, infusing the architecture with the geometric sensibility of Islamic art. The Hammam became something the Romans would have recognized, and something they could never have imagined. The same warmth, the same sequence of rooms, the same invitation to the body to release what it has been holding, but with the tiles, the zelle, the mukarnas, the tadelakt, the cedar screens, the architecture of a different civilization and a different understanding of what beauty is for. Not ornament, not excess, geometry as a form of prayer, pattern as a reflection of the order underlying the world, the tiles as a reminder that everything connects, everything fits, every piece has its place. Farouk knows this history the way he knows the temperature of the rooms, not as information he has studied, but as something in the walls, something that came to him by being here, day after day, year after year. The building teaches you if you are paying attention. He has always been paying attention. The Kayasase, there is a ritual. The Hammam has a ritual, and it is specific, and it has not changed in a very long time. The Casamit, the glove, it looks unremarkable. Coarse fabric, Casa fabric, a particular weave of viscose that is rough enough to lift dead skin from the body without damaging the living skin beneath. The color of it, a dark brown-gray. You have been in the heat long enough now. The steam has opened the pores. The warmth has softened everything. You are ready. The casa is applied with the black soap first. The Savon Beldi worked into the skin with hands, generous, unhurried. The smell of it rising again now that it is warm and active against your skin. Old olive oil, argan ash, the smell of the Medina, the smell of this building. It lathers softly, not the bright foam of commercial soap. A quieter lather, more like cream than bubbles. You let it sit. Then the casa, the long, firm strokes, the warmth of the room, and the warmth of the water, and the work of the glove, and the skin releasing. This is what the hammam is for. Not simply warmth, not simply clean, something more specific. The ritual removal of the outer layer, the revealing of the softer thing beneath. You have been carrying the day on your skin. The hammam asks you to leave it here. The dead cells, the tiredness, the accumulated residue of moving through the world. Leave it here, in the warm water. That drains away. What Farouk knows. Farouk has a notebook. He has kept it for 35 years. Not a recipe book, not a management ledger. A different kind of notebook. Observations. The tile in the second room that shows a hairline crack. Begun. He first noted it in the spring of 1997. It has not grown. He notes it every season anyway. The day the furnace needed a new part, and he had to find someone in the new city who still knew how to make it. That took 3 weeks. In the notebook, every day of those 3 weeks, the temperature of the rooms managed with less heat than usual. The adjustments he made, the winter when the water pressure was low, and he learned, by necessity, how little water was actually needed if it was used with complete attention. The patrons he has known, not by name in the notebook. He does not record names, but the regulars, the man who came every Friday for 20 years, whose name Farouk learned on the 3rd visit, and whose death he learned of from the man's son, who came to tell him. who felt it was important that Farouk know. It was important. Farouk thanked him. He wrote in the notebook that evening, not the man's name, just the Friday patron is gone. 20 years. The Hammam is smaller for it. And then the Hammam grew again, the way it always grows, because someone else came, someone new, someone who became a regular, who brought the warmth of a life lived regularly to these rooms. Farouk has written about summer and winter, about the difference in the quality of the steam between the dry months and the rainy ones, about the smell of the eucalyptus in different seasons. He has written about his uncle, who taught him this work, about his son, who is learning it. The notebook is not a diary. It is a conversation with the building, the way Henry Belloc's notebooks are a conversation with the flowers. The building speaks, if you are quiet enough to listen. Farouk is quiet enough. He has been practicing that particular quietness for 35 years. The cold plunge. You have been in the heat. The sequence is not complete without this. The cold room. The Beit al-Barid. Not far from the entrance hall cooler, but not cold in the way of winter outside. Cool in the way of a spring morning. The way of room temperature water that is not heated. The marble basin, fed by the cold tap. The water running in. The water clear and still and waiting. You breathe. You step to the edge. The cold water finds your feet first. The shock of it, not pain, not quite, but the shock of contrast. Your body, which has been warm for so long, meeting something completely different. And then, after the shock, after the first breath of surprise, something extraordinary. Clarity, the cold water, and the body that has been made completely open by heat. The combination produces a clarity that is physical, that is immediate, that is like nothing else. You are completely here, completely present, every inch of skin awake, every cell of you alive, and certain and vivid. You stand, you breathe, the cold water, the warm room behind you, both at once. And then, because this is the way, because the sequence is complete, you step out of the cold, and the warmth returns, not the heavy, soaking warmth of the hot room, something lighter, the warmth of your own body, running at full capacity now, warmed and opened, and then returned to itself. You are clean. You are warm. You are deeply, completely, thoroughly yourself. The resting room. There is a room for this. After the baths, there is always a room for after. The resting room, back in the entrance hall, or in an adjacent space, a room that is neither hot nor cold, that is simply calm, that exists for no other purpose than to receive the body after the work of the Hammam is done. Low benches, cushions, the fauda, the traditional bath wrap, the striped cotton that is simultaneously towel and garment, and the most comfortable thing you have ever been wrapped in warm from the shelf where it was stored. You lie down, or sit, or recline. There is no urgency. There is nothing you are required to be doing. The Hammam has taken the day from you. The heat has loosened everything that was held tight. The Kessa has taken what you were carrying on your skin. The cold plunge has woken every part of you. And now there is only this: the resting room, the warm fauda, the distant sound of water, the smell of the building, the soap and the steam and the cedar and the tile, settling around you like something benevolent. Mint tea appears. It is brought without being asked for. This is the way. The Hammam produces its tea at the right moment. You do not know when Farouk decided the right moment was. You do not need to know. The glass, the amber liquid, the sharp, warm, sweet smell of fresh mint, steeped in the particular way that Moroccans have been steeping it for centuries. Generous with the mint, generous with the sugar. The tea poured from a height to make the foam that is, in Morocco, the signature of tea made correctly and with care. You hold the glass, warm in the hands. You sip the sweetness, the mint, the warmth of it traveling down and spreading in the chest. The Medina 18 night, deeper in. The Hammam sounds the water, the furnace, the distant soft voices are all you hear. But let me tell you what is beyond the walls. The Medina at night, the alleys that run in every direction from this small courtyard. Some of them wide enough for a donkey. Some of them barely wide enough for two people to pass without turning sideways. The Medina was not planned, not in the way of a modern city, not with a grid and a zoning document and a traffic study. The Medina grew over centuries, each building added where there was space, each alley formed by the boundaries of the buildings on either side, each courtyard created by the absence of building, the breathing space between walls. The result is a city that feels like an organism rather than a machine, alive, constantly in conversation with itself. The smell of the Medina at night, wood smoke, the Hammam's furnace, the charcoal of the food vendors, their carts long gone now, but the smell of charcoal lingering in the stone, orange blossom from a courtyard you pass, but cannot see. The house has turned its face inward, as Moroccan houses do, showing nothing to the street and everything to the central courtyard. The riad, where the fountain runs and the orange tree is, the jasmine that climbs the wall at the corner, the mineral smell of old stone. The darkness is not frightening. The darkness of the Medina at night is familiar. It is the darkness of a place that has been occupied for 10 centuries, a darkness that is also a kind of warmth, a darkness that holds the accumulated warmth of all the lives that have been lived in these walls. The cat on the step, the fountain in the square, the distant call from the minaret, threading over the rooftops, all of it here, all of it holding what the Hammam is for. Farouk knows what the Hammam is for, not just in the practical sense, not just the cleanliness, the warmth, the ritual. He knows what it is for in the deeper sense. A city like Fes, or Marrakesh, or Meknes. A city like this was, for a very long time, a city without the kind of private comfort that modern people take for granted. Small houses, many people, no space or very little space for the private, personal comfort of the body. The Hammam was that space. The Hammam was where you brought your body to be taken care of, where you came when you were tired, where you came when you needed warmth, where you came when you needed to be soft for a while. The Hammam as a kind of mercy, a public provision of what every body needs: warmth, water, care, permission to release. This is not a small thing. In a life that asks much of the body, to have a place where the body is, for an hour, the only concern, this is not a small thing at all. Farouk has watched what happens to people in this room. He has watched the shoulders drop. He has watched the faces change. He has watched the quality of the breathing shift. He has watched people arrive carrying something invisible and leave having set it down. He cannot name what they were carrying. He does not need to name it. He knows what it is. He has carried it himself. He carries it to the Hammam. He leaves it in the water. Every day, that is what the water is for. The ceiling of the hot room. Let me take you back to the hot room for a moment. Just for a moment. To look up. The dome. The ceiling of the hot room in a traditional Moroccan hammam is one of the most beautiful things you will ever look at. The dome rises above you, not very high, perhaps 6 meters, perhaps 8. But the curvature of it, the way it draws the eye upward and around and back down, creates a sense of space that exceeds its actual dimensions. Plaster, white, with the muqarnas at the base of the dome where it meets the walls. Those carved stalactite forms that look different at every angle, that change their shadows with the movement of the steam and the lantern light, and the circle of glass at the apex, a single small circle set into the crown of the dome. Thin glass, the night visible through it, the deep blue-black of the Moroccan sky, and one star, just one, from inside the dome, with the steam rising toward it. That star looks different from how it looks outside, more present, more specific, as if the dome is pointing at it, as if the architect, 400 years ago, placed that circle of glass not simply to let in light, but to offer a window, a small, precise window, from the warmth and the steam and the inside of the human body's comfort, looking up, to the outside, to the enormous, to the star. You lie back on the marble. You look up, the star, the steam rising toward it, the muqarnas in their geometry, the warm stone beneath you. Everything for this moment is in its right place. The furnace room. Farouk has gone to check the furnace. He does this several times a day. And once in the evening, last thing before he leaves. The furnace room is at the back of the building, down a low corridor, the heat intensifying as you approach it. The furnace itself, old, built of fire brick, fed through an iron door with argan wood and eucalyptus. The argan wood burns hot and long. The eucalyptus burns fragrant. Together, they produce the fire that has been burning in this room continuously since before Farouk was born. The furnace does not go out. It cannot go out. If the furnace went out, the floor would cool. The steam would stop. The hammam would stop being a hammam. The furnace is the life of the building. Its heartbeat. Farouk checks the temperature. He checks the wood supply. He adds 2 more pieces, the argan going in first, the eucalyptus on top. The flames catch. The heat increases slightly. The smell of the eucalyptus, rising immediately, volatile oils in the bark, releasing in the first touch of heat. He watches. He is satisfied. He closes the iron door. He turns. He walks back through the corridor, back to the entrance hall. The hammam is good. The hammam is warm. All is well. The geometry of stars. The zellige on the walls. Let me stay with the tiles for a moment, because the pattern has a name. The 8-pointed star. The Khatam, the seal of Solomon. The 8-pointed star that appears in Islamic geometric art from Spain to Persia. Not a decoration, a symbol. A symbol of the harmony of the universe, the unity of the divine and the earthly, the possibility of perfect order. The 8-pointed star is made of 2 squares, one rotated 45 degrees over the other. Simple, but from this simple act, 2 squares, one turned, an entire universe of pattern unfolds. The spaces between the stars become shapes. Those shapes tile with each other. The pattern grows infinitely, without repetition, without edge. The Malam who cut the tiles that cover these walls, he understood this, not as theory, as practice. He sat with his hammer and his chisel, and he cut piece after piece, each piece a fragment of the infinite pattern, trusting that when they were laid together, the whole would emerge. And it did, and it does. Every time you look at it, the pattern is doing something. The eye travels from star to star and between the stars and finds new patterns within the pattern, new relationships, new depth. It is inexhaustible. It is the kind of beauty you can look at for a lifetime and find new things in. You are here in this room, surrounded by it. The blue tiles, the white plaster, the amber lantern light, the geometry of stars on every wall. You breathe. You are inside something that has been beautiful for 400 years, and it will be beautiful long after tonight. The mint tea, a deeper attention. The glass in your hands. Let me stay with this for a moment. The mint tea of Morocco. It is not simply tea. It is gunpowder green tea. The small, tightly rolled pellets of tea from China that have been traded into Morocco for centuries through the great trade routes of North Africa. They are called gunpowder because they look like it. Small, gray-green pellets that unfurl in the hot water into long, whole leaves. with the tea fresh mint, not dried, fresh, Nana mint, the spearmint that grows in the gardens and on the rooftops of the Medina, in any pot or planter, fragrant and prolific, a fistful of it in the pot, and then generously, unapologetically, sugar. This is not a tea for people who want to taste the tea. This is a tea for people who want to taste the generosity of the person who made it. The sweetness is deliberate. It says, "You are welcome here. I am glad you have come. Here is something sweet." Farouk's wife made this tea. She comes in the late afternoon and makes the tea and leaves it in the small room off the entrance hall with the glasses warm from the shelf. She has been making this tea for 30 years. She knows when it is right. She knows when the mint is sufficient and when more is needed. She knows the exact height from which to pour to produce the foam without losing the temperature. She knows all of this the way Farouk knows the temperature of the rooms, by feel, by attention, by the long practice of doing the same good thing in the same careful way, over and over, until it becomes perfect in its consistency. The foam on the tea, the mint floating, the sweetness, the warmth. You drink slowly. There is no hurry. Sleep BGINS. You are in the resting room. The fauta warm around you. The tea finished. The glass set on the low table beside you. The sounds of the hammam, the water, the furnace, the distant softness of voices are all around you. Your body, you notice it now, how different it feels from the body that walked through the cedar door this evening. The muscles have released. The skin is clean, warm, open. The breath is deep and slow. The mind is doing something unusual. It is not rushing, not solving, not rehearsing. It is simply here, in this room, in the warmth, in the smell of the soap, and the steam, and the mint tea, and the old cedar, and the warm stone. Present, this is what the Hammam was designed to produce. Not simply cleanliness. This, the body returned to itself. The mind returned to the body. The whole self together again, quiet, warm, at rest in the place that rest comes from. You close your eyes. The sounds continue. The water, the furnace, the distant voice, the cat somewhere outside in the alley, the fountain in the square, all of it here, all of it holding you. Farouk's evening. Farouk closes the hammam at 10. He does not rush the closing. He has never rushed the closing. He checks the furnace, the last check of the evening. The wood set so that it will burn through the night at a lower heat, keeping the floor warm for the morning. The fire not extinguished, but banked. He walks through the rooms. The hot room, the marble slab, the harara, still warm from the day. He runs his hand along it. Warm, good. He checks the taps. He checks the basins. He straightens what needs straightening, not because anything is particularly wrong, but because this is how you care for a building. You look at it, you touch it, You make sure it is as it should be. He goes back to the entrance hall. He folds the remaining towels. He puts the last fouda on the shelf. He looks at the room, the zellige tiles, the tade-lacked walls, the mucarnous ceiling, the brass lanterns, 2 of them still burning. He extinguishes them, one by one, the match between his fingers. He pinches each flame. The first lantern, the entrance hall half dark. The second lantern, dark, only the faint glow from the city outside, coming through the gap under the cedar door. He stands in the dark, in the building, one moment, not doing anything, not thinking particularly, just here, in the dark, in the warmth, in the 400-year-old building that is still tonight, doing what it was built to do. He nods, the small nod. Good. He goes home. The Hammam at night. The Hammam at night. After Farouk has gone. The building to itself. The furnace burning low. The floor warm. The rooms dark, but not cold. The tiles. In the dark, the tiles are still themselves. The geometry still complete, still perfect, still doing the thing that tiles in a dark room do, which is exist. The pattern does not need the light to be true. The stars are still 8-pointed. The squares are still rotated 45 degrees. The infinity is still infinite. The water, the tap in the cold room drips, not significantly, a drop at a time. The sound of it in the silence, a gentle, continuous sound. The beat of the building's quietest pulse. The cedar door. In the alley outside, the cat passes. The cat's feet on the cobblestones. The tiny sound of a small animal going about its night. The fountain in the square, still running. It always runs. The star above the dome, the one star visible through the circle of glass, still there. The steam has stopped now that the furnace is banked, but the smell is still here. The smell does not go with the steam. The smell is in the walls. The black soap, the eucalyptus, the old cedar, the mineral stone, the smell of 400 years of warmth and water, and the careful, repeated, deeply human act of taking care of the body. The building holds it all, as it has always held it, as it will hold it long after this night is over. You are sleeping. You are not in the Hammam anymore. Your body is wherever your body is, in your bed, in your home, in the quiet of your own night. But something of the Hammam is with you. The warmth, the openness, the smell still present if you breathe slowly and let it find you. The black soap and the eucalyptus and the mint tea and the cedar door, the warm marble, the star above the dome, the tiles and their infinite geometry, all of it carrying forward into this moment, into your sleep. Your body has been taken care of tonight, not in the way that the bodies of the Medina are taken care of in the Hammam, but in another way. In the way of a person who has been given something warm and quiet, and unhurried to breathe and be inside. in the way of a person who has been told without words that their rest matters, that their body deserves warmth, that they can let go. You can let go. You are letting go. Breath by breath, the warmth spreading, the muscles soft, the mind quiet, the whole of you here, present, at rest. The last things. The furnace is burning low. The floor is warm. The tiles are in the dark. The geometry is complete. The mukarnas are casting no shadow. There is no light to cast shadows, but they are still there. Their honeycomb perfection, their patient presence. Farouk is home. He is sleeping. He is not dreaming about the Hammam, or he is the way you dream about the things you love, which is to say, you don't dream about them. They are simply there in the background, the warm constant of a life that has been built around something worth building around. His notebook is on the table. Tomorrow he will write in it something about the furnace, something about the temperature of the rooms, something small, specific, observed, the notebook of a person paying attention. His son is home, learning. The tiles are waiting. The cedar door is closed. The star is above the dome. The fountain is running in the square. The Medina is sleeping, or nearly sleeping. The Medina never fully sleeps, but it is as quiet as it gets. The alley, the whitewashed walls, the cat settled somewhere warm, the smell of the city at night, wood smoke and old stone and orange blossom, and the lingering fragrance of the Hammam drifting through the cedar door. Always the fragrance, always the warmth, always the water running, always running. The oldest sound. The furnace is burning low. The floor is warm. The tiles are 8-pointed stars. The stars are infinite. The tadelect is the color of old cream. The lanterns are out. The cedar door is closed. The cold tap is dripping, one drop at a time. The fountain in the square is running. The cat is somewhere warm. The star is above the dome. One star through the circle of glass. Farouk is sleeping. His notebook is on the table. His son is learning. The Hammam is warm, as it has been warm for 400 years, as it will be warm tomorrow morning. The black soap is on the shelf. The casamit is folded. The fauda is waiting. The mint tea is finished. The sweetness, the warmth, the foam on the glass, the eucalyptus in the steam, the marble, warmed, the mukarnas, patient, the water, running, always. You are held tonight by 400 years of warmth, by the care of hands you will never know, by the tiles that are infinite and do not need you to see them to be true, by the water that runs through the night, by the furnace that does not go out, by the cedar door that has opened for everyone who needed it, and it has opened for you. Tonight, you needed warmth, and it was here. You needed to let go, and the water took it. You needed to be soft, and the steam allowed it. You are safe. You are warm. You are held in the Medina, in the old city, in the Hammam that is 400 years old and does not ask anything of you except that you come in from the cold and be warm. Good night, dear friend. Sleep well. Sleep deeply. The water is running. The star is above the dome. You are already asleep. Good night.